Thank you for the love on my previous video. I'm really kind of shy and don't do this on the regular. I'm more of the introspective, ask questions and sit back. And for the most part, usually I am not cursing OD like that. Sorry, pastors. All things considered, I guess cursing isn't all that bad. We are mad. Some atrocities are so vile they force you out your shell, and I'm so grateful for the healing conversations that were held. So many of my folks were like, yo, Soph, I hope this goes viral. For sure, absolutely, that's the hope. More exposure for critical messages to give you scope. Express these complicated feelings, that's dope. But chasing clout will never be my MO. But best believe I tagged every woke celebrity I know. Cause folks, they gotta know what black and brown folks endure on the low. Even if that first video went nowhere, and thank God and thank you that it surely did. If it merely held space for us to grieve and lament a bit, yeah, that right there is it. Let's go. Let's keep raising awareness about injustice. Repost, retweet, share, comment, subscribe, whatever the kids say these days. Speaking of kids, it's the young people that mobilize always and make waves to navigate through this relay and maze of hazy and hard days. We never been here for justice delayed. As powerful as social media activism is, we gotta transcend beyond just social media Department of Justice. Trust us, activate, deflate mandates that are in state to keep us stagnate, placate, raise solutions. Let's focus. So this video is all about, excuse me. So this video is all about what we can do now, contributions that already exist that I use at the institutions that I teach at. I think it could lead to some resolution, God willing, less executions. America needs absolution. We need retribution, but I digress. Acknowledging your white privilege does not make you a racist. Let's just start there. They are not synonymous, just so we're clear. White privilege doesn't mean that you don't go through a lot or that you have mad cars in your parking lots and just yachts sitting on the dock. Nah. Sometimes it could be tied to money and class, but not necessarily. It just means that the distress you go through in life are not a consequence of the color of your skin at all, and certainly not primarily. You benefit from skin privilege. You don't think of it at all. Well, that's entirely the point. Needless to say, we got common human experiences: sickness, death, depression, job losses, this pandemic. White privilege says, you have a bad check, counterfeit bill, whatever the reason, we'll get to the bottom of it. Your life won't succumb to it. Because society grants you the inherent benefit of the doubt without thinking twice about it. Full disclosure, that's a good thing. You're treated well, no account to you. Black and brown folks need that treatment too. That's all we're saying. Cool? Up to recently, if you went to, say, CVS to get a flesh-colored Band-Aid, whose flesh would it match? Mine? Nah, yours. Society says you're where it's at. Says that you are the standard, goal, the prism that the rest of us are looked at, especially in stores, amongst other doors, marginalized. I can't go to just any drugstore and find foundation that matches my complexion. Heaven forbid they accommodate all of this melanin. No, I have to go to a certain space that renders me attention. You may think, well, what's the big deal? These are small and trivial. Stop tripping. I know some of you are thinking. When I was a little girl, I only had white dolls with Becky with the good hair, and also had gorgeous light-skinned cousins with nice, loose, that curly, wavy hair. I kid you not. I'd go to sleep and dream I was lighter with no shrinkage. My coils seemed to only get tighter. Yeah, I remember being legitimately sad that I never woke up looking like what the world considered fair. Talk about psychological warfare. At the age where I was still attached to teddy bears. Peggy McIntosh, white privilege, unpacking the invisible knapsack. Good read, start there. I find myself telling my students, she's a white woman, everyone, you can trust what she means. Precisely what white fragility is. Making you feel comfortable and ensuring your ego is okay before you become receptive to maybe listen to what I gotta say. Having to use other white people's words just so you can trust my lived experience, don't get defensive, reassurance. Working through this racial stuff takes endurance. It's kind of like when Cosby had all those credible allegations against him for years and years by mad women. Everyone took their claims frivolous. And it took just one man, Hannibal Buress, look him up, doing stand-up, then everything blew up. Everybody starts Googling. Made one joke of the allegations for folks to take the voices of the women claims seriously. Male voices legitimize the sentiments of women, patriarchy, but that's a whole other IG. Robin DiAngelo, White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for People to Talk About Racism. That book will plant deep seeds. Do yourself a favor and grapple with those weeds. Ball player Kyle Korver, I love him, wrote a narrative called Privilege. It's fire. While you're at it, check out everything Tim Wise, especially Colorblind Denial. While we're here, let's talk about that actually. I know you genuinely mean well when you say, I see people, I don't see color. So I have a legitimate question for you. What do you do at stop signs and traffic lights? You blind to that too? You see color, we see color. We need you to see our color and validate our experiences and don't treat us different and less than because of it. We don't have the privilege of opting to look away at what kills us. See us. Yo, watch when they see us. Ava DuVernay. I don't even have room to discuss. She's the truth. Straight shooter, no fuss. Beautiful, black, boss. Exonerated 5. We always knew what was up. Mia Mackenzie White silence, bruh. Dr. King said there comes a time when silence is a betrayal. Matter of fact, read all of Letter from Birmingham Jail, then read it again and again and again. It's that deep. Do more than just quote MLK in your tweets, please. He was undeniably revolutionary, not cookie cutter commercial kumbaya activist like y'all try to make him out to be. I used to cringe when I'd hear people say the world is on fire. Watching the news these last few days, my first thought was, my God, Minneapolis is on fire. That Hulu series, Little Fires Everywhere, other than writing and recording these videos, I'm quarantining alone. Been watching a lot of TV since we got nowhere to go. No spoilers here, but that last scene in that last episode is precisely what's happening here. Sometimes you gotta let the whole infrastructure burn for things to turn. So many things we gotta unlearn. Some days feels like we are heading into the door of no return. Research that too. Well, what's the sense in like looting and protesting and rioting and organizing and rebelling? I mean, that won't bring George back. Perpetuating stereotypes. See, this is why some, not me, feel like these killings are happening and legitimized. I'm sorry, you do not get to tell me how to respond to the abuse and oppression you render. That's not how it works, oppressor. Black Panther. Your iniquity ignited our fire, pyromaniacs. Homage to Lisa Left Eye. If you had your people dying like flies, you'd be surprised. You might light a match, a few. We are not flies. God forbid I ever lose my black child at the hands of the state. As poised and sophisticated and articulate as I am, I'm coming unraveled, undignified. Best believe that. Not all of us are capable of being the Sabrina Fultons. My condolences to you, mama. When you say their names, you better remember their mamas. Sis, you better than me. I was nervous running in the white neighborhood I just moved to, even before I knew a thing about Arbery. Trauma, intrinsic. I don't know who said it first. It definitely wasn't me. I'm not a plagiarist. Hey, Melania, First Lady. Be well, be best. This country was built off of our bare backs for free. It's okay if a few Targets and Dollar Trees burn. We know this scares you. We learned that cash rules everything around us. We learned that from COVID. But over here, we actually value humans over products. Our people are still dignified even as they riot. You tried us. We are tired. You tried it when we did it peacefully. Told us taking a knee was done ungracefully, unpatriotically, disgracefully, sons of bitches even. Jeez. Now people have no fucks to give, unfortunately. Damn, I curse again. Did that make you uncomfortable? Good, we are getting somewhere. Listen to black women. I remember being maybe in middle school when I first learned of Emmett Till, watered down curriculum. Basics, you know the deal. Curriculum was not about to keep it real. Christopher Columbus, the best rapper alive other than obviously Beyonce, told us, only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Matter of fact, we need to protest George's murder with our pockets. If that went over your head, revisit history. So much revisionist history. Anyway, back to Emmett Till. I remember not even being able to conceptualize as a naive child a world where such vile could happen. Couldn't fathom Botham, Jean, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Freddie Gray, Trayvon Martin, Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo, Elton Sterling, Oscar Grant. Damn, I need a breath. They take our breath. Michael Brown, Philando Castile, Ahmaud Arbery, Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, Abner Louima, Tony McDade, Breonna Taylor, Rodney King. That one hit different. So many others. Sadly, this list is not even exhaustive. We are exhausted. And these are just the hashtags that we knew about. Some of them weren't even hashtags because they happened before hashtags were hashtags. This has been occurring a long while. They are not anomalies. Few bad apples. We've debunked that theory. Damn, we still not free in 2020. God, Jesus Christ, speak to our desperate please, please. When we say Black Lives Matter and you say all lives matter or blue lives matter, we know this reductionist argument. For real, do you think you're making a profound thought? You're actually not. Karen, you're missing the whole point. I can't believe I have to break this down to grown-ass capable adults, but here it goes. This is what we want. for Black lives to matter as much as the culture protects that of both good and crooked officers and white fathers. If all life matters, then ours have to matter too. As per my last email, reference my list of the innocent Black deceased that I just read through. We are all going through a pandemic, but some of us are really going through it. Check on your Black and brown friends. We are exhausted from the Amber Geigers and the Amy Coopers. But not all Amy's are created equal. Real recognize real. We know the Sealeys and the Flannerys that have been down for us, really. Thank you sincerely. White allies, we need you. One of my favorite teachers, her name is actually Amy. The first one to tell me, Sophia, you can do and be anything. Keep bright keep shining. The world's watching. You're inspiring. You're fire. Never stopped affirming me till this day. In the best ways. Some Amy's are just different. Petrocelli. My white sister friend hit me on the celly. I know no one says that anymore, but it rhymed. We have to find levity in crises in these times, or else we will lose our God-ever-loving minds. Shout out Pastor Dr. Eric Mason. That's a gospel-centered woke pastor you want to know about. Some of us been doing the work. Cop his book, Woke Church. Rest of y'all pastors, where y'all at? When Rihanna said, tell your white friends to pull up, I'm pretty sure this is the moment she was talking about. Speak up. Anyway, back to Amy. She just kept repeating she loved me, and she said, Sophia, I know it's not your responsibility to teach me, so you can decline, but if you don't mind, what books and resources do you recommend? I want to educate myself and be a better white friend. Yo, white people, take notes. That's how you know. That's how you show up. Show us. Shared all my syllabus notes. Bless my heart so much. Amy girl, you don't even know. Inspired this entire second video. I love you, yo. I want to be a little self-deprecating for a bit. Never want to front like I get it all right all the time myself, I admit. I'm no counterfeit. Damn, it probably wasn't even a counterfeit. I'll be transparent and show how I dropped the ball a bit. Miss you, Kobe. Damn you, 2020. Gonna be a little controversial, but hey, this whole damn thing is YOLO. If I'm honest, there are times when slight homophobic jokes are made in my presence. I'm uncomfortable. And as a heterosexual Christian woman, I didn't say a damn thing. Wrong move, silence, crickets. I guess there's a part of me, shameful to even admit this, forgive me, that says it's not directly my issue or my place. I don't got much to say. Or worse yet, what if I say the wrong thing? What can I even bring to this conversation? That's privilege. When you have the agency to look away from an issue that doesn't directly impact you, in fact you, that's actually when you gotta move. Do something. I am a Christian and believe in the inerrancy of scripture. Don't get it twisted. And, not but, and still I can be an advocate when my marginalized brothers and sisters, siblings are under a threat. I gotta be consistent. I gotta love justice. I gotta crave justice. I can't be desensitized when trans people are murdered in silence or in public. I gotta fight for justice. Seeking justice is not just for us, Black and brown folks. I gotta remember that when we discuss. I'm just speaking to myself for a minute, folks. I might have divulged too much. I got a story that comes to mind, but it's not entirely mine to share. Got my friend's blessing, but even still, I won't go into great detail. One of my best male friends went through some things because of who he opts to love. We still joke that I came ready to fight in what he calls my mom jeans and gloves. Because no person I love was just gonna be disposed of. I was gonna show up. I showed up. In my heart, I'm an ally, always have been, in action. But in action, I've been passive and quiet. Wasn't sure where to begin. These hard conversations, that's not right. Silence is complicity. I knew that only in theory, especially when I wanted to remember me. I need to keep that same energy of when I stood up for my friend who has a vastly different experience from me and discrimination tried to do him in. Yo, let's keep that same energy. Jacques, brother, I'm all in. Last lesson, and then promise I'm done. By the way, check out White Privilege Glasses website online, something that should be consumed in masses in all undergrad classes. Let's talk about microaggressions, the little things that people in the majority say or do to minorities that reveal implicit bias, usually unintentional, but sometimes they are harmful, although subconscious. YouTube Dr. Phil, great episode on this. Panelists include Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. Enough said, look him up, get intellectually fed. He's a genius, brilliant Black man. Black men, y'all are everything. You need to hear that time and time and time and time again. Hey Carl, what's happening? Black Mental Health Kickback, look them up on Instagram. Light plug for the fam. Mental health awareness, that's the move in this pandemic, especially while we're navigating through injustices, structural and systemic. Back to microaggressions, case in point, I went to the liquor store, don't judge. I told this white sales clerk, look, I'm not much of a drinker, just looking for a sweet red wine. She said, oh, I have just your kind. Come with me. Took me all around the store. She said, here you go, the cheapest one we got, $3.99. Added, I bet you want to use coupons on top of that. Assumptions, gotta love them. Or when I pull up to the faculty lot at the university I work at, and a white faculty member stops me dead in my tracks. Ma'am, this is for faculty and staff only? Right, that would be me. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a student because you just look so black beneath me. I mean, they would never say it like that. I mean, you got to be covert with your racism in 2020. Well, come to think of it, not really. Broad daylight, they lynch freely. Texas, Minneapolis. I got to teach my colleagues how to treat me before I even get to my 8 a.m. classes. Invisible labor of people of color. That's why we lean on each other. Implicit biases are mother. I'm not going to curse. I'm always thinking about my mother. Rest in peace, mommy. I love you. More microaggression. Child, I got stories for days. I was in college when Obama won the first time, kind of dating myself, but that's all right. Beaming with pride, uptown Harlem, CUNY grew me, thank you, Doomy. I was taking a Saturday biology class. Me and my white professor, who I loved, would walk and get coffee during our break in the NAC. He said, congrats on your president. I had an Obama pin and everything, newly coming into my consciousness before being woke was even a thing. Hyped. I said, thanks. He said, next time maybe you all will get a full black. Awkward laugh. Oh shoot, I think he just came for me. Kevin Hart voice, I wasn't ready. I felt so unsteady. So why didn't you speak up fast enough? Microaggressions make us feel like we gotta stay ready. It happened so fast. Before I processed what he said, it felt like the issue was already dead. Microaggressions happen just like that. Went to brunch at an uppity white restaurant not too long ago with some folks I know. Waitress winked at me. We had fried chicken and said, hot sauce. I think that, I don't know what the heck she thought. Microaggressions leave us with so many afterthoughts. I can't make any of this ish up. Our minds are always racing, maneuvering through this society low-key distraught. Ask your black and brown friends with what microaggressions they've experienced. You'd be surprised. They are tiny things, but they are exhausting when you have to constantly adhere to them. And if they don't have any, they're probably just youngins. Keep living. I guarantee you they coming. Damn, I really sound like a 30-something. Wisdom. Many times we just let it go because we are just exhausted. I am exhausted. How many times have I repeated that I am exhausted? That was intentional. Energized to organize but depleted. All my text threads last week were, Dad girl, real talk, I feel defeated. Me too. But not too tired to tell you this one last thing. White people, especially moderate liberals, I know you mean no harm. Please do not describe black people as articulate. That is not a compliment. Like you're moved by our intellect. Oh, Obama's so well versed. He speaks so well. You surprised? Senator, scholar, author, attorney, Ivy League graduate, husband to Michelle, what exactly did you expect? That he'd be dumb? Wouldn't be capable of stringing words together coherently? Donald Trump. My thoughts have evolved. This is what I think now. Not all Trump voters are racist. Of course not. Things are not binary, simply black and white. Mature conversations leave room for nuance. I can get behind that. Many are racist undeniably, but some very fine people voted for Trump, not even saying that facetiously. For real though, they had their wants and agendas. I get that. But every single person who voted for Trump decided somewhere in their hearts that racism, homophobia, xenophobia, bigotry, and misogyny wasn't enough of a cause. Awkward, uncomfortable, pregnant pause. Look, we had Lizzie and Corey and Bernie and even Kamala, and Biden is what we got. So I know all about making choices that ain't exactly hot or whatnot. Issa Rae, effortless bars. Who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for everybody black. I am. I'm not awkward in saying that. Stacey Abrams. There's a nuance between a Trump voter and a Trump supporter. At this point, if you still blindly support that man after all he has distorted, the progress he thwarted, hardworking, intellectual, resourceful immigrants that make this country greater than he could ever, abruptly deported, precious babies in cages, claims he makes that remain unsupported, I can't exhort it. That's not merely a difference of politics. You're infringing on my right to live, sis. Not sure that this spoken word can remedy that. Black women, we do a lot, but I don't know if I could do that. Speaking of Trump, Twitter fingers, could you imagine a highly sought after educator that taught black and brown students for years and years and years? Hyped, you find him on Twitter, eager to reconnect. I mean, your childhood favorite teacher. Until you realize that his entire feed is filled with suspect dialect, racist rhetoric, the havoc. Well, I guess you can be a racist technically and have black friends and lovers. So of course you can be racist and teach well to black kids and keep your prejudice undercover until you retire. Damn, not you indoors. Some racism stayed closeted indoors, but now the veil is off. I don't care what fuzzy, warm childhood memories I had with you at Elmont, I'm going off. You're leading a cushy life in retirement off the backs of Black and brown Caribbeans, African, Hispanic, Asian immigrants, taxpayer dollars, our parents. Whew. Racism has layers. I'm from a small town. I got all the tea, but don't DM me. I'm going to keep everyone's integrity. Makes me wonder, can you imagine how many seemingly loving Caucasian educators taught us, held their breath, and low-key really hated us? Oh my God, that's too much. That's too much. Be easy. Breathe. We gotta breathe. If for no one else, for our brothers George Floyd and Eric Garner who couldn't breathe. Maybe it's just a teacher in me, so cliche, but I really think education is the key. Let's read and pause, then talk. Be friend, someone that doesn't look like your folks. We got mad work to do around the clock, so self-care it up. About to walk my dog, maybe take a hot bath, unplug, and then we'll follow up. Heavy hearts now, but heads and chins up. I'm going to keep the faith for all of us that this generation will measure up. Much love to every single one of y'all. Thanks for the love. Rest in peace, Nipsey. The marathon continues, particularly until social injustice in America is discontinued. And we birth something meaningful, healthy, righteous, and new. God bless you all. Thank you.